Inside the Magic, show number 484 for July 13th, 2014. It is Sunday, July 13th, 2014. This is show 484 of Inside the Magic, and as always, I am your host, Ricky Briganti, with another great show packed with plenty of Disney and theme park fun. And before we jump into all of it, I invite you to visit our website at InsideTheMagic.net. There you'll find all of our podcasts, videos, photos, news, articles, and plenty more. And if you ever have any news, tips, questions, comments, or anything else that you'd like to send in, you can do so by emailing me at ricky@InsideTheMagic.net, or you can call and leave a message at 407-494-4ITM. That's 4486. And now, let's get on with the show. This week's episode of Inside the Magic is brought to you by Magical Travel. Still haven't decided where to vacation this summer? There is still time to book your Disney summer vacation. Walt Disney World, Disneyland, or a Disney cruise, all still available by calling Magical Travel today at 866-207-8387, or visit them online at magicaltravel.com to receive a free price quote. And when you do that, be sure to mention Inside the Magic to receive a free Disney gift card for qualifying bookings when you book your Disney vacation with Magical Travel. And thanks very much to Helen Cope for your donation this week, as well as all of our monthly recurring donation subscribers and anyone clicking through the affiliate links over on the website. It all supports this show, and I thank you very much for all of it. And now, let's get started with a trip around the world. Well, hopefully everybody enjoyed last week's half-year in review, about 3 hours worth of discussing everything that happened in the world of Disney and a bit beyond in the first half of 2014. Certainly a lot of exciting things that have been going on, and much, much more ahead, including the excitement from, well, I gotta catch up on the last 2 weeks worth of fun right now, beginning, of course, over at Universal Orlando, because that's really the big story, where Diagon Alley, the Wizarding World of Harry Potter expansion, officially opened after previews and soft openings. It did become official just a few days ago, and of course that completes a project that began really back when the Jaws ride closed in early 2012, so it's been a long time in the making. The grand opening itself was not a huge sort of opening moment because they already did the preview with all the celebrities a couple of weeks prior, but so the actual grand opening was a confetti-filled moment with a red carpet running into Diagon Alley, and certainly plenty of excited fans rushing in there to see it all. Harry Potter and the Escape from Gringotts ended up not soft opening, the big attraction, the big ride that is part of Diagon Alley, so that ended up sort of making its grand debut with the rest of everything, and within just a few minutes, the line was a couple of hours long, which quickly rose to 300 and 350, and I think it topped out at 450 minutes, which is many, many hours, although people had reported waiting essentially all day because it did have some, technical difficulties here and there. It broke down once or twice or many, many times. In fact, it's still, from what I understand, not running up to full capacity, but it's doing better. It's getting there, and just today, it was showing its shortest wait times yet at about an hour and a half, I think I saw. So it's working its way down. There is a single rider line, which is great as well, so you can get in there a bit faster. I'm definitely looking forward to getting back over there to riding that a few more times sometime in the near future. Of course, you can see many, 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 many things all about Diagon Alley, including some new posts over the last week, some nighttime photography, some interactive 360-degree panoramas, and much, much more over on our website. And a little bit later in this week's show, I'm also going to include some fun binaural audio from within that area as well. But while that's the big thing going on over at Universal, this past weekend was the debut of Disney's newest, biggest thing out here at Walt Disney World, called Frozen Summer Fun Live, the daily events that are going on over at Disney's Hollywood Studios, themed to, of course, the smash hit phenomenon of a film that is Frozen, and I'll have much, much more about that special event later in this week's show. But first, let's jump over to the West Coast, over to Disneyland, where there's definitely been some excitement going on there with the Alice in Wonderland ride returning from an extensive refurbishment, and in addition to sprucing up the outside portion where it's looked really ugly for quite a while since the safety folks had swooped in and forced Disney to make some changes there with regards to, railings and balconies and that sort of thing. Well, Disney made all that look a lot prettier, but inside they took the opportunity to upgrade that as well with some new Alice figures as well as some new digital projections, adding a lot of special effects to the whole attraction. You can see a video of the newly updated Alice in Wonderland Dark Ride over on our YouTube channel. Also going on out at Disneyland very soon, just a few days from now, will be the grand reopening of Club 33, the very exclusive restaurant in New Orleans Square. It's going to be reopening with a new look, a new logo, and an entirely new menu from Chef Andrew Sutton. You might know that name from Napa Rose at the Grand Californian Hotel, as well as the Carthay Circle restaurant at Disney California Adventure. He's a great chef, really puts together some excellent flavors, and he's doing that for the Club 33 menu now. A whole new menu for lunch and dinner, as well as a menu for the special salon area, the Jazz Club. You can see those full menus over on our website. I'm not going to read it all here because it would take a very long time because it's like a 6-course meal, and it just goes on and on, but it sounds delicious. The club is actually becoming more exclusive than ever. There's a lot of rules that are now attached to getting into Club 33 that were not there before. Those who have paid the thousands and thousands of dollars and waited a very long time to get a membership into Club 33 may now, of course, make reservations for themselves. But if they're going to make reservations for non-members, which was fairly easy to do in the past, now they're limited to doing that just 20 times per year, and they can only make non-member reservations 2 weeks in advance for Sunday through Thursday and 3 days in advance for Friday and Saturday. So they're really trying to get more members into the club than non-members, which, makes sense when the prices are so high. And, of course, the prices are going up even more in 2015. The membership dues are going up to about $14,400, and that is an annual rate, for platinum memberships, as well as $19,600 for executive memberships. So you do have to have quite a pretty penny in order to afford a membership to Club 33. I definitely don't have a membership there, but I still hope that I will get in there relatively soon in some way or another in order to see what the new Club 33 is all about. So far, nobody's really seen it. They've kept it pretty much under wraps. I think they've been doing some very select previews this weekend, and like I said, in a few days it will be making its debut to members. So there it is, Club 33. Of course, a lot of other changes is going on as a result of all of this at New Orleans Square. Doesn't quite look the same as it has in the past because they had to add new passageways and windows and change a lot of the way things looked in order to accommodate the new areas for the new Club 33. So if you remember the way New Orleans Square was on your last visit to Disneyland, it's not going to look exactly the same next time you're there. Meanwhile, over in Frontierland at Disneyland, a new interactive game has debuted there, The Legends of Frontierland. It involves basically creating a character for yourself. You get a sticker, a name tag, or you can create your own Western-style name, and you interact with a sheriff, a card shark, outlaws, a telegraph operator, and other characters throughout Frontierland. The goal being to make a little money that they're calling bits or gold, and eventually get a claim on some land in Frontierland, and it's sort of a very elaborate process. You can, in order to earn money, you can deliver telegraphs or help out the sheriff, play some cards, or capture people in a jail. So it's a very social, hands-on, interactive game that is now happening daily in Frontierland. A full story about that is over on our website as well. And now let's jump to something completely different, where, of course, now that Diagon Alley is open, Universal has immediately changed its attention and its PR push to Halloween Horror Nights. Naturally, it's only July. I mean, the event is starting about 2 months from now, so it's no wonder that they are going to be discussing that very well. And they will be soon announcing for both Universal Orlando and Universal Studios Hollywood the second theme for a haunted house this year is going to be From Dusk Till Dawn. The classic Robert Rodriguez horror film has recently become a TV series, and it's going to be based on that TV series that a new haunted house will be part of both coast events. The details aren't out there quite yet because the information kind of leaked out over the weekend because a YouTube video went up a little bit sooner than Universal was intending it to go up, but it was out there, and once things hit the internet, they go. You can't unrelease something once it's out. So there it is. You can certainly look for that announcement very soon. In fact, by the time you hear this, they probably will have already made that announcement. But that, of course, joins The Walking Dead, which will be on both coasts as well. So that's 2 properties we know right now, and more to come. Speaking of Universal Orlando, there's a bit more a couple of more restaurants that have opened recently as well. At Universal Orlando City Walk, Bread Box Handcrafted Sandwiches opened. That replaced the City Walk's former cigar shop. It's located next to the new Menchie's frozen yogurt. They have freshly prepared sandwiches, salads, soups, and a couple of great milkshakes. Their sandwiches are pretty good, but their milkshakes are fantastic. I had this Nutella chocolate milkshake. It was just unbelievable. So good. And then Hot Dog Hall of Fame also has officially opened at City Walk as well, and you heard about that a couple of weeks ago here on the show. Turning away from the parks, in the world of Marvel Entertainment, there is now a new touring show going around the United States that made its debut just a few days ago in Tampa, here in Florida. From Feld Entertainment, it's called Marvel Universe Live. I attended a preview of the show a couple of nights before its official debut, and it was 2 hours long, very long show, featured, as they say, more Marvel characters than any other live show has ever had. It includes, of course, heroes and villains: Captain America, Thor, Iron Man, Spider-Man, Wolverine, Storm, Cyclops, Black Widow, many others, villains: Loki, Green Goblin, Dr. Octopus, Red Skull. The list just goes on and on, even to some more obscure Marvel characters like Black Cat or the Lizard or Madam Hydra. The show is very stunt-driven. It's got a lot of it's stunt people in the show, so they are not really acting so much as lip-syncing to all the pre-recorded dialogue, which is pretty decent for pre-recorded dialogue. And overall, I think the show was a little long, maybe about half an hour longer than it needed to be, but I had a good time. You can see a video preview of what this show is all about over on our YouTube channel. I'll read my full thoughts over there, as well as see some photos. Speaking of special events and a whole lot of Marvel, certainly coming up next week. I can't believe it's next week already. San Diego Comic-Con is here, almost. It's just over a week away. I will definitely be there once again, covering the whole event for the full 4.5 days. And over the last few days, as is the custom, 2 weeks before each of the days of Comic-Con, they release the schedule for what is going to happen throughout this event. And of course, today being Sunday, they have released the full thing. And Walt Disney Studios / Feature Animation, they don't have their own big Hall H presentation this year. It was no surprise last year because of D23 Expo, but there is no D23 Expo this year, and they just have kind of opted out, which is really unusual. They, of course, have also said that Star Wars Episode 7 will not be part of Comic-Con in any way, shape, or form this year, that it's just simply too early on, and they're still hard at work at making the movie and don't really have anything to show off just yet, and they just have no desire to. So you can count that one out, but there are definitely some really exciting Disney panels that are coming up this year, even if there is no big Hall H moment. Of course, Marvel will have one. Marvel always has. I mean, it's Comic-Con. You have to have Marvel there. They will have a Hall H panel Saturday, July 26th at 5:30 p.m., and who knows what surprises will go on there. I've heard the Avengers will assemble there once again. I've heard that Ant-Man will be prominently featured there, so we'll see how all of that goes. Jumping back, though, let's run through the schedule real quick here. This is kind of the highlights. There's a lot of Disney, particularly Star Wars and Marvel related panels there, but these are definitely the highlights of what I'm going to try to get to as many of these as possible. It's impossible to see everything, but as many as possible. Beginning with One that I definitely do not want to miss on Thursday, the first full day of Comic-Con, July 24th, will be a 1-hour panel at 11:15 a.m. for Toy Story, The Time Forgot. That's the upcoming Christmas special that's coming out later this year, so that should be fun. A couple hours later at 2 p.m. is The Art of Big Hero 6, which of course is this year's big Disney animated film, which is based on a Marvel property. First time that's ever happened. So Comic-Con's a great place to really explore that. This is going to be one of the biggest Disney panels, certainly, really showing off a lot of things we haven't seen from Big Hero 6 yet. So definitely got to go to that. There's going to be a Star Wars Rebels panel later that day at 6 p.m. Then the next day, July 25th, Hasbro will have a Star Wars collector action figure panel. Gravity Falls will be there. Marvel Television at 3 p.m. is going to have not only an Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. panel, but they're going to combine that with a first look at Agent Carter, the upcoming TV show. So that should be pretty exciting. Then back to Saturday, July 26th, there will be Phineas and Ferb. Once Upon a Time, where they're going to talk about Frozen being, part of the show. Maybe they haven't actually said that the Frozen cast members will be there, but you never know. They might. And then there's also a 20-year anniversary panel for Disney's Gargoyles, which seems to that came out of nowhere. 20 years, wow. So those are kind of the highlights. You can see the full list of everything Disney at Comic-Con over on our website. They're going to have a Big Hero 6 booth on the show floor. There's some other walkthrough experiences on the show floor as well. And so my goal this year is to really go, of course, full on, try to cover as much of San Diego Comic-Con as humanly possible, but really I'm going to try to attack it even further now that we've sort of got the outside the magic part of the website as well. So I'm going to confine all of the Disney-related stuff and maybe Universal and sort of anything vaguely related to theme parks and what I normally cover here. All of that will still be featured over on Inside the Magic, but over on Outside the Magic really is fair game for just about anything else. So all the cosplay fun that I've covered before, I'm going to do even more of that over there, along with, who knows what else. But basically, any panel that I go to, I'm going to try to record it and put it up where it wasn't relevant previously. Now it certainly is, because that's kind of the goal with Outside the Magic, is to cover other fun things besides what I have been. So you can look forward to much more this year from San Diego Comic-Con as quickly as I can crank it out. So stay tuned for all of that next week. One more Comic-Con note here. The trolley that takes people to and from the San Diego area this year always has a big sort of advertising wrap around it, much like the monorails have been doing so frequently out here at Walt Disney World. Well, this year, Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. is completely taking over the San Diego Comic-Con trolley, which is pretty neat. It's a nice-looking design. So, yeah, there it is. Speaking of Marvel, there were a couple of recent previews of Guardians of the Galaxy. One is ongoing at both Disneyland and Disney's Hollywood Studios, a 10-minute preview of the film showing essentially the opening sequence along with an extended trailer. And then, one night only, a special IMAX 17-minute preview. And I've seen both of them, which means I've seen like a quarter of the movie already. And it was really good, especially the one at Hollywood Studios / Disneyland. Out at Disneyland, they have special effects going on with it. They can't really do that out here in Orlando, because then it would be an attraction and that would violate the contract with Universal, et cetera, et cetera. Anyway, long story short, Guardians looks great. I can't wait to see the full movie, which I'll be seeing. It comes out a couple of weeks from now, 3 weeks from now or so. So really looking forward to that. I think as maybe people were hesitant about it at first, thinking, oh man, this looks strange, this looks weird, where this came out of left field. I think it looks really, really good. Has a lot of elements of sort of classic sci-fi, but mixed in with some great humor. I think it's going to be a lot of fun. Looking forward to it. And while we're talking movies here, many have been wondering what is going on with Guillermo del Toro and his supposed Haunted Mansion movie that he's been not really working on. Well, he finally has offered his latest update about that film. He did an Ask Me Anything, AMA, over on Reddit, and of course somebody asked him about that, and he responded and basically said it's still a thing. It's not dead. They've been just writing and rewriting the script. They've gone through many drafts and just haven't gotten there yet. He said he was at Disneyland recently with some Disney folks and we're riding through the Haunted Mansion trying to determine exactly how to walk that balance between comedy and creepy and really capturing the essence of the ride appropriately and properly. And so it's still out there, but sounds like not anytime soon. And here's a little bit of sad news that came out of the world of Disney movies this week. Dickie Jones, the young, at the time, voice actor who played Pinocchio, the voice of Pinocchio so many years ago for Disney, has just passed away a few days ago at the age of 87. So, sad news there. In other movie news, the successful Disney film Enchanted from 2007 apparently is getting a sequel. A director and a writer have been named. The writers, actually two writers, J. David Stem and David Weiss, are apparently going to be writing Enchanted 2. They have previously written films like Shrek 2, The Smurfs, Are We There Yet?, Daddy Day Camp, or Daddy Daycare. And Ann Fletcher is going to be the director of Enchanted 2. We don't know anything else about it yet because it hasn't been written. Now, in the world of TV, of course, I mentioned Once Upon a Time will be at San Diego Comic-Con, and indeed, over the last few days, or the last couple of weeks or so, Disney/ABC have announced the roles, the actors who will be playing the roles of Anna, Elsa, and Kristoff for the upcoming Season 4 for Once Upon a Time, for the Frozen episodes. The actress who will be the Snow Queen, Elsa, she is Georgina Haig. Elizabeth Lale will be playing Anna, and Scott Michael Foster will be playing Kristoff. You can see pictures of who all those people are and how much they look alike. They're pretty good casting. They look a lot like the characters over on our website. Some upcoming Blu-ray releases on August 12th. Actually, 5 releases. Tarzan, Hercules, Ichabod and Mr. Toad, Ben Knobs and Broomsticks, and Three Musketeers with Mickey and the gang are all coming out for the first time on Blu-ray August 12th. And in the world of merchandise, something big from Japan has now landed in the United States. It's these little plush Disney characters called Tsum Tsums. They are available in 3 sizes, large, medium, and mini, as Disney calls it, for $25, $13, and $5 respectively. But they're not just sort of cute little renditions of Disney characters. In addition, they also are from this Tsum Tsum game, a mobile game that is incredibly popular and available now to download and play as well. The little plush, all 3 sizes of plush Tsum Tsums are available at DisneyStore.com, as well as in select store locations throughout the United States and at Disney parks. And that'll just about do it for news from around the world this week, though one more thing. This week, something very big is coming. Stay tuned to Inside the Magic, and particularly Outside the Magic, later this week for a very big announcement. So, as I mentioned earlier, the Frozen Summer Fun Spectacular over at Disney's Hollywood Studios has begun. I'm going to be talking about that here in just a second, but let me throw out a tip for it real quick. There are many components to this, and you might get there at the park first thing in the morning and be like, oh, where do I go? Do I get a spot for the parade? Do I go over here? Do I go over there? So here's my quick tip and strategy. Go to the back of the park first. When you get there in the morning, go to the back of the park to the Premier Theater. That's where the sing-along stage show takes place. There, they're giving out timed return tickets. They're not fast passes, but they're similar. They're tickets specifically for the show. You can grab that, pick your time, whichever one you want to come back to. That way you don't have to worry about waiting in a huge long line for that. You know when you're coming back. And then go over to Wandering Oaken's Trading Post right away, or the Frozen Funland, because that line can definitely build up. And then if you get through all of that really quickly, you can do all of that in maybe half an hour. You can go, even an hour tops, you can go snag a spot for the parade and royal welcome, which happens at 11 a.m., and you will be off to the races very quickly and easily in the morning without waiting for much of anything. So there's your tip for Frozen Summer Fun Live. Everybody email your tips into tips@insidethemagic.net. Even amidst all of the excitement and the grand opening of Universal Orlando's Diagon Alley, Disney has managed to capture a whole lot of attention with their special event that just debuted last weekend, Frozen Summer Fun Live at Disney's Hollywood Studios. This is a daily event that's going on now through September 1st, at the same entertainment day after day after day after day. So you don't have to go on a specific day. Just show up to Hollywood Studios before September 1st out here at Walt Disney World, and you can enjoy a whole lot of Frozen fun. And in fact, it's no doubt that Frozen is incredibly popular still. The movie came out in November. That was, 8 months ago? And it is still incredibly popular. In fact, it's so popular. One photo that I posted from Frozen Summer Fun Live of Anna and Elsa sharing a cute little sisterly moment was the most shared, I'd say, anything that I've ever posted over on our Inside the Magic Facebook page. It was shared thousands of times. It was, the little like button on Facebook, nearly 300,000 likes on this one photo. I've never had anything even remotely close to that. Facebook tells me that as a result of people sharing it and liking it and all of that, nearly 5 million Facebook users saw this one photo. And I'm not saying all of this to brag or anything. That's wonderful that people have seen my picture. That's great. But the reason I'm saying this is because that shows how incredibly popular Frozen is still. That one little tiny photo from a theme park event that's going on for 2 months can capture so many people's attention so quickly. Every time I hit refresh, it was another 10 or 20,000 people. It was just madness. All of that happened in a day. And likewise, all the videos that I've put up from this Frozen event have more than 1 million views in the last week. So it's crazy popular, and there's no end to it. So if you're wondering, why is Disney? If you're one of those people who are thinking, Disney's it's just a cash cow, Disney's milking it, and they're just gonna do everything Frozen for as long as they can. Well, yeah, because people want it. It's not just because they feel like they can make money off of it. Of course, they're gonna do that as well. But it's because the demand is so incredibly high. I mean, the lines to meet Anna and Elsa over at the Magic Kingdom and at Disneyland are still very, very long. So there's no doubt that people want more and more Frozen. So, what did they roll out for Frozen Summer Fun Live, and why did they roll out just this particular set of entertainment? Well, about a week and a half is what they spent working on this event. It kind of came together what you would think is last minute, and for only having about 10 days to put this event together, and I won't go into the reasons why all of that is, but for only 10 days, they did a phenomenal job putting quite a large amount of very entertaining entertainment, because there can be boring entertainment. It's a full day worth of Frozen interactions that anybody who is a fan of the film will certainly enjoy. That's not to say that there couldn't have been much, much more out of it all, but given the time constraints that they were operating under, and certainly I'm sure there were some budget constraints as well, they've done a very nice job. So let's kind of run through here. I'll play you some audio clips from the park, get an idea of what Frozen Summer Fun Live is all about, and I'll share some thoughts about each of the different components of this event throughout each of these days. So it all begins, of course I mentioned just a bit ago some tips to do things in the morning, but the real first major event that happens as part of the Frozen celebration each day at Hollywood Studios is the parade/royal welcome. And the parade is I use the word parade loosely. It's not like it's a brand new Frozen parade. In fact, most of it is recycled from the Christmas parade that's over at the Magic Kingdom. You'll recognize some costumes and some skaters and some floats, like the float that Scrooge McDuck is normally on, his house, and actually this last year it was Donald on there. That float comes through with no characters on it, which is a little bit odd. It's clear that they had to put together some sort of moment for Anna and Elsa to enter the park, and so they felt Christmas, with all of the snow on these floats, made sense. So that is the bulk of the parade, but that's not really what everybody is there to see. Of course, Anna and Elsa come in on a horse-drawn carriage, and everybody gets very excited, but even more exciting is the first ever appearance of Kristoff as a character in the parks. And I was there on the first day, last Saturday, and everybody just went wild upon seeing Kristoff, and Kristoff looked great. He looked just like he stepped right out of the film. And he came through on his float and actually right before his float was a line of, from basically the first scene of Frozen, the Norwegian ice pickers. A line of them. So it was nice to see them as part of the parade. That was certainly something new. And then Kristoff came in, and behind him on the float was Wandering Oaken in his little trading post, which was a fun little addition as well. So they parade by. The music kind of just loops over and over and over, the same music throughout this brief parade. And then the big moment takes place up on the stage in front of the big sorcerer's hat. You know, that big stage that they use for everything at Hollywood Studios. It takes place there, in which Kristoff just kind of goes off to the side and stands around for the duration of the royal welcome of Princess Anna and Queen Elsa to Hollywood Studios, to Walt Disney World, and this isn't exactly a coronation. You know, Merida had her coronation and Rapunzel had her coronation. That hasn't taken place yet. This is not officially that. This is a royal welcome to Walt Disney World that happens every day, and I want to play a little sampling of what that sounds like as the pair of Frozen characters are officially welcomed to Walt Disney World.
Please welcome to the stage our royal couple. Please welcome Queen Elsa and Princess Anna.
Well, that's so formal. Anna and Elsa is fine.
Well, fine. Anna and Elsa it is. We are so happy that you'll be spending your summer with us. Please accept these flowers in honor of your homeland.
Thank you so much. And what a warm reception. Such beautiful young people. If only Olaf was here, he'd love summer.
Hello, I'm Olaf, and I like, oh wow, look at all the colors and people.
Hi, Olaf.
Well, Anna, Elsa, talking snowman. As an ambassador of Disney's Hollywood Studios, I have another gift for you.
Another gift? You shouldn't have. But it's okay that you did. What is it? Anna.
My gift is a song known and beloved by everyone everywhere. This is my rendition of Let It Go.
I don't think I know that song. I do. Where'd you hear it? I sang it. When did you sing it? It's a long story. Oh, I have time. We would be honored to accept your gift. Yes, I'm sure we are.
Well, you'll have to excuse my voice. I don't quite have the range that you do.
Oh.
I know. Why don't we all do a sing-along?
A sing-along? Well, that's a great idea, Olaf. Why didn't I think of that? All right, everybody, in honor of Anna and Elsa, we will all, as loud as we can, sing Let It Go together.
Does everyone know the words? I don't.
Oh, well, I'm sure people here have heard it just a couple of times. For those that haven't, and for Ms. Anna, Olaf!
Come on, everyone. Just follow my bouncing butt.
Excuse me. All right, everybody, draw breath. We shall fill the street with voice in honor of our royal queen and princess with Let It Go. Here we go.
And I will spare you the rest of that sing-along moment because it is one of many times throughout the day that Let It Go is played. You cannot leave Frozen Summer Fun, the event, without hearing Let It Go at least 78,000 times, including many versions of a sing-along. That seems to be the theme throughout the day. So I'll spare you this time because, watch out, it's coming later. But poor singing aside from, guests and audience members and that sort of thing, the welcome moment is nice. It's great to see Anna and Elsa not only as part of some sort of stage show like this, but also speaking to the crowd. It's the first time they have done that outside of a meet and greet. So it's great to see that finally happening. It was a little disappointing to see that the characters were not singing, really singing. They sort of started out and let the audience sing, and then they would sort of mouth along with everybody, but they were clearly not actually singing along. So that's, you hoped for something, a grander moment like that, but it's not a full-blown Frozen stage show so much as just a royal welcome is what it's billed as. So That's the beginning of that. Now, it's a little while after that the first sing-along stage show happens in the back of the theater, what I said earlier about getting a timed ticket to go to and see this performance that happens throughout the day. But before we get to that, I do want to mention Wandering Oaken's Trading Post and Frozen Funland. This is another area that is in Soundstage 1 in the park. You might know it well as the area where they have set up this past Star Wars weekends. They had the merchandise. Darth Maul was in there. Well, now it's been transformed to really two halves, and there are two separate lines to get in. One is the Trading Post, where you can buy all the Frozen merchandise, and there's a lot of it. And then the other half is the Frozen Funland, where there is a icy snow-like substance to play with. It is real ice. I wouldn't exactly say it's snow, but it's cold and it's wet, and you can play with that. There is an ice skating rink in there that's a fairly good size, holds quite a lot of people on there. You can pay $10 to skate for 30 minutes in there, or you can wait around and see a little show, an ice dancing skating show that Disney puts on with a Frozen theme to it. There's also some photo ops in there. Well, they'll superimpose Frozen characters into your picture in front of sort of an Arendelle backdrop, and then there's some treats to eat in there as well. And it's a nice environment. I wouldn't expect it to be this huge, incredibly elaborate themed attraction. It is something that they, again, put together in about a week and a half. It reminded me of Christmas decorations more than Frozen. A lot of trees with, white lights on it, and a lot of snow and ice. It felt like going to, Christmas Town at Busch Gardens or something like that, where it was a lot of holiday, or, real holiday feel to it all. But it worked with Frozen, and it seemed like everybody who was skating around in there and playing in the ice and everything, certainly kids, were having a lot of fun. Even I saw many guests falling down on the ice. It was clear they hadn't done a lot of ice skating, and even they were having, picked themselves back up and had some fun as well. So definitely worth going in there at least once to check out. You pass by Wandering Oaken's actual hut or shack out in the snow before you head in there, and that's nice to see as well, that they constructed that for everybody to sort of walk by. Then once you get into the Trading Post, there, as I said, is a ton of Frozen merchandise, shirts and dolls and plushes and pins and all the stuff you would expect out of a Frozen store. In addition, there's a lot more sweet treats in there with a Frozen theme, a lot of Olaf things, and just little candies and candy apples and cupcakes and all of that sort of stuff is in there. And then there's a door that they had previously said the door that's labeled sauna was going to lead out into the hot Florida sun, and for some reason it doesn't. It actually connects between the Trading Post and the Frozen Funland, so that was a little disappointing that it doesn't actually go out into the Florida sauna. But it's there, and it's kind of fun. It's kind of behind the register, though. You can't really get at it. It's actually a cast member door, which, again, a little weird. So that's that. You can see, some photos and video tour of that. And I should mention, you should, of course, can see video all of this over on our YouTube channel, the Royal Welcome Parade tour of Wandering Oakens. And then what I'm going to talk about now, which is the sing-along stage show. They call it, for the first time in forever, a Frozen sing-along celebration, I think is the full name, the very wordy, long full name of this show. It's about a half-an-hour show, though the bulk of it is taken up by movie clips that the audience is singing along with, the vast bulk of the show. But that aside, there is a great introduction, a middle, and conclusion to this show that anybody who's a fan, even if you don't want to sing along to the movie, you still should go see this, because this is the closest thing that we have seen to an actual Frozen stage show so far, and I so wish they had more time and more money to put into this to make it a full-blown Frozen stage show. But for what it is pretty entertaining, especially the very end of it. So I'm going to play some clips from that as well, including the full introduction that includes some really fun character moments, especially Anna. Anna does a great job on stage. She's very funny, and then she brings on some the other characters that are invented just for this to host this sing-along.
Great. I mean, it's great. It's wonderful. Elsa! Have any of you seen my sister, the Queen of Arendelle? She's about so tall, blonde, kind of keeps to herself. Oh, and she has weird icy snow powder. No? I really hope she didn't run off again. I'm gonna have to do this by myself. Hang on. I'm ready. I was born ready. Hello, citizens of the Kingdom of Hollywoodland. My name is Princess Anna of Arendelle. That never gets old. Oh, what's next? All right, please help me welcome the newly appointed Royal Historians of Arendelle.
Used to this.
Well, of course they're here to see you.
Princess Anna.
You're going to share some of the royal tales of our land in the story of my sister, Queen Elsa.
We are?
Oh, we are. And it's the greatest honor you could bestow upon us.
I will proudly do my duty, my lady.
That's enough. Just ignoring him. He's a little...
Oh, sorry, I didn't catch your names.
Oh, I am Eric.
And I'm Aria. Put it there.
Oh, so nice to meet you.
Awesome. This is happening right now.
Flattery and awkward.
I'm never washing his hand again.
Awkward. Well, best be occupying my sister. Hopefully she hasn't accidentally cast an eternal winter over Hollywoodland. She wouldn't do that, right?
No.
Never. Okay. Well, hopefully I'll see you all later. If I find my sister, that is. Okay, bye! Can you believe it?
Best first day ever!
All right, let's do this. Pump it out. Okay, here we go. Citizens of Hollywoodland, we proudly present to you the story of Anna and Elsa. We also invite you to join us in the singing of the anthems of Arendelle. The lyrics will be up on the screen in case you don't know the words.
Oh, I'm pretty sure they already know the
I
word.
think they do. Okay, so where should we start?
Oh, let it go, let it go. All right, so what do you have in mind?
Where every good story starts. The beginning.
Gotcha. It was a dark and stormy night.
No, it wasn't.
Long ago it was in a galaxy far, far away.
Yes, indeed, that was a Star Wars joke in the Frozen show. Disney fully utilizing all of its available properties to get everybody to have a good laugh and pay attention. So you heard Anna there, and the absence of Elsa, and you heard the Royal Arendelle historians, who then proceed to host the most of the rest of the show. They stay on stage and sort of run through the story of Frozen, supported by almost every single song from the film, and it's just one after another with some little bit of story narration in between, definitely some comedy in between. They're funny, these historians, but the audience is really quite enthralled with the notion of singing along with the movie Frozen. And now I was there for the very first performance of this last Saturday, and there was an empty row in front of me when I sat down right in the middle of the theater. I thought that was a little odd until about 5 minutes before the show started. Came in the executives, Walt Disney World President George Kalogridis, as well as Disney's Hollywood Studios President Dan Cockrell, and Jim McPhee was there as well. He's currently I can't remember his title at the moment, Senior Vice President of the Parks, I believe, something like that. Anyway, I've met these guys before. I said hi and all of that, and I definitely wanted to watch them throughout the show. I was, of course, watching the show, but I was watching them particularly to see how they reacted to the audience reactions. And, well, let me just play a clip from the first song that came on during this first sing-along, and here's what happened.
Do you want to build a snowman? Come on, let's go and play. I never see you anymore. I'm out the door. It's like you've gone away.
Every word every tiny nuance of every line of every song this audience sang. They were perfect timing, many of them in perfect pitch. And as the audience erupted into this sing-along moment, I watched all three of these high-up Walt Disney World executives huge smiles. They were laughing. They were looking around at everybody having a good time, and it became infectious. Really, it was. I mean, I was smiling. It was as simple as you think a sing along is. You think, oh, it's movie clips and whatever. You can do that at home. It's different when you're in a darkened theater at Walt Disney World. The character was just on stage, and suddenly here's the movie that everybody has seen 700,000 times and sang along to the soundtrack at home and this and that. And suddenly you're surrounded by all these other Frozen fans, and you're all knowing every single tiny little word. It's kind of one of those Disney magical moments. I felt like there was really something special in the air going on in that theater, and I don't know if that's going to happen every single day at this event, but certainly for the very first one, when all the biggest fans were there, everybody could feel it in the theater, just how excited they all were to have something Frozen in the parks finally, and it really solidified why Walt Disney World is doing this. Why, yes, they could have fast-tracked some lame attraction, some lame ride, and shoehorned it somewhere, but instead they went for, okay, let's be realistic about this. Let's put together an event for the fans. Let's give them something Frozen, and then down the line we'll work on something else. And I'm sure they are. They're working on something down the line. But for now, this is what's there, and people who are big Frozen fans are really eating it up. So let's continue with this stage show a little bit more. And towards the middle, maybe a little bit past the middle, of course, you get to the part of Frozen, the movie, as the historians are telling the story. And they get to the part where Kristoff gets introduced to the story. And kind of the part of the shtick of the historians is that they're not quite getting all the facts just right. Well, I guess Kristoff had a thing or two to say about that.
Well, Princess Anna, thinking this whole mess was her fault,
Which it was.
went out into the blizzard to find her sister, which she did.
Yeah, she made it all the way to the North Mountain, where her sister, Elsa, dressed in her beautiful pink blue gown.
What's that music? There's music for you.
Excuse me.
Who are you?
Kristoff.
Sorry, but I didn't recognize you without your reindeer.
Yeah, Sven found himself some character. But that's beside the point. I kind of helped out. A lot.
If I recall correctly, you didn't want to help out in the first place.
Well, of course I wanted to help. You can't sell ice in the middle of a blizzard. But Princess Anna never would have made it up the North Mountain without my help.
Not to mention, you liked her. You thought she was pretty.
You want her kids.
I thought she was interesting. That's for sure.
Because it's interesting, not as interesting as reindeers, apparently. Hear about this yet?
So what if a reindeer is my best friend? There's nothing wrong with that. Just get the story straight, would you? Princess Anna meets a rugged and fearless ice harvester, Kristoff, whose cunning bravery helps get her up the North Mountain. Did you sleep through all of Arendelle 101?
I think he's kind of dreamy too.
Everybody's dreaming. How can you never call me dreaming?
You don't even want to know. Don't get me started.
You could certainly hear all the hooting and the hollering when Kristoff made his way onto stage and spoke for the very first time as part of a Disney Frozen stage show event performance, and everybody was very excited about that, naturally. A good addition to the lineup. Now, Kristoff isn't meeting and greeting. No characters are meeting and greeting during this Frozen Summer Fun event. I have to imagine eventually Disney will find a way to have Kristoff take pictures and sign autographs and all of that, but that's not going on during all of this because there's so many performances throughout the day. The stage show happens 5, 6, 7 times during the day to make sure everybody has a chance to see it and sing along and all of that, and then it's practically the end of the day by that point, and then there is a extra special thing at the end of the day, which I'll be talking about in just a minute as well. So there's really not time for these characters to take a break from the stage shows to be doing any sorts of meet and greets, although if you go over to the Magic Kingdom, of course, you can still meet Anna and Elsa naturally, but that's neither here nor there. Continuing to sort of the finale of the stage show, this is where things get really, really good. Definitely the highlight of the whole thing is the very end. Of course, up until this point, you've seen Anna, you've now seen Kristoff, you've seen plenty, more than enough of the Arendelle royal historians. They run through the whole story and get to the very end, and they mess up a few facts at the end, and finally, there's this one elusive character, kind of the star of Frozen that you haven't heard from just yet. And, well, here's what happens at the finale of the Frozen Summer Fun Live Sing-Along and Stage Show.
Oh, it's
Kristoff.
Kristoff.
Oh, Kristoff. Oh, sorry. Elsa. You found Elsa?
Yeah.
Thank you. That was a very good story you told, though the ending felt strange.
Well, Olaf did help a lot.
Anna, it was you who helped save your sister and yourself.
An act of true love will thaw a frozen heart. I love you, Elsa. You're my sister.
This is so sweet. I hate to interrupt it, but I'm totally going to do it. Queen Elsa, I want you to know that the citizens of Hollywoodland did an excellent job singing the anthems of Arendelle.
It's almost as if they've heard the songs before.
Well, I think we should make you all honorary citizens of Arendelle for knowing our history so well.
I love that idea.
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, I hereby declare you all honorary citizens of Arendelle. Whenever you want, the gates are always open. They will never close again. Oh. And thank you, Eric, and you, Aria. You did our kingdom proud.
We're just having visitors.
I think you have time for one more song.
Oh, God!
Historians of Arendelle, if you please.
I told you you'd hear Let It Go a few times. In fact, that was the second time it actually played during this sing-along stage show. It had played as part of the ongoing story. They played the full sequence from the film, and there were a lot of special effects on stage with blasts of snowy air and snow coming down in the theater and these inflatable snow ice sculpture thingies popping up and special lighting and all of that during the movie moment. But then everything really exploded, as you heard there at the end, when finally Elsa, Anna, and Kristoff were all on stage, all singing along. There's still no live singing, but singing along to, of course, Idina Menzel's track from the movie. And it's one of those moments that everybody has been waiting to see on a Disney stage, and it finally took place. Now, as I said, it's a little disappointing that they weren't able to have a full-blown Frozen stage show, but given what they've put together here, given the concept of this daily celebration, I think this finale definitely of this sing-along definitely sort of gives fans that moment that they are so desiring. It does leave everybody wanting more, but it's there, and it's quite the moment. It's definitely the highlight of the whole day, I believe. And so, of course, again, you can see video of all of that over on our YouTube channel. Now, we're going to cut to the very end of the day, because there's kind of a lapse here. You can certainly explore Wandering Oakens as much as you want. You can go back and see this sing-along as many times, but other than that, there's not really anything else going on during the day until later in the evening. There's a DJ dance party. Naturally, Disney seems to include those in just about everything nowadays. There's a live band, the Hollywood Studios band, Mulch, Sweat, and Shears, kind of remade into a Frozen version of themselves, where they play some Frozen songs, as well as a lot of non-Frozen songs, mostly non-Frozen songs, kind of contemporary and classic rock hits and that sort of thing. A lot of DJ songs that are playing have nothing to do with Frozen either. It's sort of a weird mix of songs for a couple of hours, all leading up to the very, very end of the night, when a special, first time ever, Frozen fireworks display takes place. Now, this is one of the things that is very problematic at Disney's Hollywood Studios. There's this big stage with a big covering over, with a big hat behind it, with a big theater behind that. And things happen on the stage that lead up to this fireworks show. Characters. In fact, in the middle of the fireworks show, there's more characters. So you want to be up close to the stage to see all of that. But guess what? If you're up close to the stage, you can't see the fireworks pretty much at all, because there's so much there blocking your view. So you can opt to stand further back and not really see the stage, or you can stand really close and not really see the fireworks. It's almost impossible to see both unless you want to watch. They do have these big screens set up to watch the stage actions up on the screen, but who wants to watch it on a screen? You're there in person. So it's a setup that they really need to work on at Hollywood Studios. Find a way to better integrate a stage performance and fireworks. It's the same thing that happened with the fireworks at Star Wars Weekends. There was a rather long stage performance at the beginning, and then the fireworks launched, and everybody looks up, and you're like, oh, I can't see the fireworks because there's a big thing in the way. And if you watch the video I shot of the fireworks, you'll see just that, me trying to dodge left and right, moving past people, trying to capture both the fireworks and the stage show, and doing kind of a terrible job at both. But it's there. You can check it out if you want to. So, I'm not going to play the full thing for you now, because the bulk of this is just the sounds of booms from fireworks and Frozen music that you've heard now 700,000 times. But what I will play for you is kind of the equivalent of what I just played, but in fireworks. So at the beginning of the fireworks show, Anna and Kristoff come out once again, and they introduce the fireworks show. And in doing that, they also put a bunch of pictures up on the screen that people have tagged on Twitter of themselves having fun at the event throughout the day. So that's something that Disney's been doing a lot lately as well. But in addition to that, so they do that. There's some fireworks. There's some more fireworks, but then they come back out on the stage, and the show's not over yet, because Elsa has to make her grand debut and use, of course, her snowy powers to summon fireworks. Snow, fire, ice, I don't know. It works somehow. It actually is quite the moment, and here's what it sounds like.
Queen Elsa.
Anna. Hi, sis.
Not my usual look, but this is fun too.
Oh, you poor dear. Don't you worry.
okay.
Is it okay with all of you if I use my powers to help him? Good. Now, since he's our friend, I encourage each of you to join me. Here is what I need each of you to do. Think of your coldest, most frozen thoughts, of ice and snow, of a great frost-covered forest, of towering snow-capped mountains. Now, focus all those cold thoughts to the sky and let it go.
And yes, that is indeed Let It Go one more time. So let's count that up. If you watched the Royal Welcome at the beginning, that's one. You watch the sing-along, you hear Let It Go twice, and you watch the fireworks, you hear it again. That's 4 times minimum that you hear it during the day at Frozen Summer Fun Live. Of course, there's also occasional interludes that happen up on the stage throughout the day. There's Olaf appears up on the big screen at the stage in front of the hat, and there's some sort of little Let It Go moments that go along with that, and I'm sure if you hung around Wandering Oakens long enough, you would hear Let It Go playing in the background in there, and who knows where else. So you have to really, really like that song in order to make it through a day at this Frozen event. But overall, the event, for those who really love Frozen, you're not going to come away disappointed. You are going to want more, definitely. There is much more to be done with this property. Disney is no way done with it. Of course, a Broadway show is coming, and I guarantee more is coming to the theme parks as well. Most likely a ride at some point. Whether or not it's going to replace Maelstrom in Norway, like many have said, who knows? Disney's still figuring that much out. But for now, this is where you get Frozen. You go over to Magic Kingdom and you wait a really long time, or you get a fast pass for Meeting Anna and Elsa, or you go to Hollywood Studios and you have a whole day of what they're officially calling Frozen Fun. So if you do want to see much, much more from all of that, head over to InsideTheMagic.net. Lots of photos, lots of video, of course, on our YouTube channel as well. It is certainly a phenomenon that's not going away anytime soon, and it's doing pretty well for Disney, so why should it? So there you go. A recap of Frozen Summer Fun Live at Disney's Hollywood Studios. And that's almost the end of show 484. Going to skip listener feedback this week because I talked so very long about Frozen and had to do a couple of weeks of catch up on news, and because I've got something special coming up here that I mentioned earlier in just a minute. But before I get to the something special, I do want to mention once again, of course, San Diego Comic-Con coming up in another week and a half. Looking forward to covering that. And beyond that, there's even more excitement ahead. Going to be actually going back to California a couple of weeks after that for more Disneyland fun and a special the Scare LA convention as well. And there's a ton of things that are actually happening over the next few weeks that you might not even realize. Even though it's summer, it seems to never let up around here, and which is great. There's always something fun happening in the world of theme parks and themed entertainment and all that good stuff. So lots ahead. Of course, I do want to thank Magical Travel for sponsoring this week's episode of Inside the Magic. You can find out more about their services by visiting magicaltravel.com. And, of course, between episodes of this show, please visit our website at InsideTheMagic.net. There you'll find all of our podcast videos, photos, news, articles, and plenty more. And, of course, follow us on Twitter and Facebook and on YouTube to stay up to date with all the latest Disney and theme park fun throughout every week. And as I mentioned earlier, something really, really exciting coming up within the next few days on Inside the Magic and especially on OutsideTheMagic.com. So don't miss that. So that almost wraps up this week's show. I, of course, do want to say thanks to all of you for listening each and every week, and for all of you to have a very magical week, but it's not goodbye quite yet. Now that the Wizarding World of Harry Potter Diagon Alley is officially open, I had a chance to walk around there a little bit more freely, not under the constraints of any sort of preview or really anything, just a chance to wander freely through, and I decided to put on the old binaural microphones for a lap around Diagon Alley, up the main street, around some of the stores, taking in the music and the ambiance through Nocturne Alley, the scary sort of part of it, taking in some live entertainment, and then, of course, well, it ends with pretty special moment. So, for those of you who want to hear what it really feels like to stand inside Diagon Alley, stay tuned here. It's about a 10-minute long recording. Make sure you wear headphones for this walk around. Just kind of close your eyes, sit back, and enjoy the sounds of the Wizarding World of Harry Potter, Diagon Alley. I'll talk to you next week.
Good to meet you. Are you stranded? Oh, he's with him. Big, strong, muscular man. Yeah, man, do it again. That looks great. Let's keep that, man.
That's